Howdy, and welcome to HitFilm Express 2017. I'm Axel from HitFilm, and in this tutorial we're going to jump right in and create a cool effect of a pistol being fired from Westworld To Yuma. So make sure you have your free copy of the software installed and download the project files from the link below. They're provided in a zip format, so go ahead and unzip those and let's get started. When you launch HitFilm Express, it opens to the home screen. This gives you access to the user guide, it links to recent tutorials and other training resources, and it manages your projects. You have direct access to recent projects, you can create a new project, or you can open a project, which is what we will do. Navigate to the project you downloaded and select it, and it opens right up. In the media panel, we have the video clips we will be working with. As you select each one, it will open in the trimmer, where you can preview it. Our main clip is very short, less than a second. Because this is a gunfight and bullets move fast, things will happen very quickly. We have just enough time to register that the gun has fired, and then we will cut away to the consequences of those bullets landing. In the daylight, with an old-fashioned revolver like this, you often don't see much of a muzzle flare, but there is a lot of smoke. So our focus in this tutorial is adding smoke to the gun when it fires. You will notice that there are 3 stock footage clips imported into this project. These clips are provided by Action VFX, and they are yours to keep. You can use them however you like in your other projects. They have been formatted specifically for this project, so we highly recommend visiting the Action VFX site, as they have loads of amazing stock footage for sale in much higher resolutions and higher frame rates, so it can easily be used in a wide variety of projects. There is also an audio clip of a revolver report, which Film Riot has graciously provided. Again, this one is yours to use however you like, and if you do like it, they have loads of additional high-quality sound effects available for purchase in the Triune store, which is linked in the description. Let's get started with putting this shot together now. In the media panel, right-click on the pistol-firing.mp4 video clip and choose Make Composite Shot. This creates a new timeline the exact length of our clip, so we can focus on adding or compositing our stock footage into it. Composite shots are a special sort of timeline specifically designed for layering multiple videos and images together. Our pistol firing video is layer 1. Now find the ground hit 11 video and watch it in the trimmer. This one has a great initial plume of smoke that comes out and will work very nicely as the initial ejection of smoke from the barrel. On the timeline, right-click on our video layer, go to Options, and select Show Waveform. This lets us see exactly where the sound of the gun being fired occurs. Frame 3, right after Josh has fanned the hammer, is where the first shot needs to go, so position the playhead there on frame 3. You can see the frame count here, and in addition to dragging the playhead, you can move it 1 frame at a time in either direction using the comma and period keys on your keyboard. Once you are on frame 3, drag ground hit 11 onto the timeline and drag it over until the blue placement crosshairs line up with the playhead, then drop it. Notice that this first frame is black. The smoke hasn't started yet, so drag the clip back to the left 1 frame until the smoke appears. Of course, we can't see our footage now due to all this black, so we need to remove the black and leave just the smoke. We will look at 2 different ways to do this. On this clip, right-click, go up to Blend Mode, and switch the blend to Screen. Blend modes control the way pixels in your selected layer are blended with the pixels beneath, and the Screen blend, as you can see, will remove the dark areas and leave only the brighter bits. Now we need to line it up with the barrel of the gun. This widget on the viewer gives you control over the placement of your selected layer. The arrows let you drag it in specific directions, and the square handle lets you rotate it. You can also just click on the layer and drag it around to reposition it. So, rotate the layer until the angle is right, and drag it so it lines up with the muzzle of the gun. If you have trouble, you can click this triangle to twirl the layer controls open, then open the transform controls, and you can manually change the values. Rotation at 43 degrees and position at 257 for the x-axis, that's side to side, and minus 608 for the y-axis from top to bottom. I recommend not just punching in the numbers I used though. Instead, use the positioning widget to put it right where you like it. The first frame or two of this stock is excellent, just what we need. But it should maybe detach from the barrel after 2 or 3 frames, or it looks like the gun is just continually spouting smoke. We will need to modify the smoke a bit to control what is visible. We can do this using masks. So go back to frame 3, then click on the Ellipse Mask tool up here in the toolbar. There are 3 mask tools here for different shapes. We want the ellipse so we can draw a nice smooth shape. Now, click the layer you want to add the mask to, which is the Ground Hit 11 layer, and drag an ellipse all the way around the visible smoke. We are now going to animate the position of this mask to control where and when the smoke is visible. To do this, we will use keyframes. Keyframes are used in HitFilm to make it easy to change values over time, as you will now see. Click this triangle to twirl open the mask controls, and then open the transform controls as well. Here we will find the path property, which lets us animate our mask. Just to the left of the path is a circle. Click it, and keyframing is enabled for this property, and a little square appears on the timeline, indicating that a keyframe is saved on this frame, frame 3. Now advance 2 frames with the period key, and we will move the mask. To do this, we want to switch to the selection tool, which looks like an arrow. Then just drag the mask so the edge is halfway between the muzzle of the gun and the edge of the frame. Now let's soften that mask edge a bit. In the shape controls for the mask, you will find the feather strength control. Increase it until you like the softness of the edge. I used a setting of 114. Now advance 2 more frames and drag the mask until it is completely out of frame. Try to drag it in roughly the same direction the gun is pointed, so the motion we are creating feels like the smoke is being pushed away from the gun. Okay, this is coming along nicely. Now we will duplicate this layer so we can add another muzzle smoke to the second shot of the gun. Select the layer and press Ctrl D, or Command D if you're on a Mac, to duplicate it. Now drag the layer so it starts at frame 6, and the smoke will start at frame 7. Where the waveform of the other shot is located. Reposition this layer so it lines up with the barrel on frame 7. Rotation of -30 and position of 387, 233 does nicely. With this one, only 2 frames are visible, so we don't need to worry about the mask. Our mask is already there since it was copied along with the layer, but you can delete it if you want to. Our next thing is to add some more ambient smoke into the air using our other Action VFX stock clips. When working with stock footage, it's common to blend multiple layers of different stock together using various techniques, rather than just dropping one clip onto the timeline and calling it good. More layers help create a more random result, which tends to add realism. Select Ground Hit 14, and it opens in the trimmer. We want to remove the beginning of this clip so we have a cloud right away. So drag through until the plume is mostly gone and just a cloud remains, maybe frame 9. Now click the In Point button here to mark this frame as the first frame of the clip that we want to use. You can also set an out point using this button if you like, but it's not really necessary in this case. Now drag the clip from the trimmer onto the timeline, starting on frame 3. If you want to use in and out points on the clip, you need to drag it from the trimmer, as dragging the clip from the media panel will always use the entire thing. This time, we will remove the black using an effect called Demolt. Click the Effects Panel tab, then find the Keying folder and open it. When you find Demolt, drag it onto the Ground Hit 14 layer, and once again, the black disappears, leaving just the smoke. We will use keyframing once again to animate the size of this smoke. So on the first frame of the layer, open its transform controls and set the scale to 50%, and reposition the layer so it is on the muzzle. Now enable keyframing for the scale and position. Step forward 1 frame with the period key and change the scale to 100%. Then reposition it so the cloud is centered on the muzzle again. Awesome! Let's do the same thing one more time with our last stock clip. Click it in the media panel to open it in the trimmer and see which portion you want to use. I think starting at 113 is good, so I will set my in point there. By the way, you can also use the keyboard shortcuts I and O for in and out to set those points. Drag this clip onto the timeline as well and add the demult effect. Then we will use the exact same techniques to animate its scale and position. I think I'll start the scale at 30% this time and enable our keyframing options, then advance 2 frames and adjust the scale and position again. And there you have it. Let's add our gun sound effects now. We have great audio of the gun mechanism in our original clip, so we just need to add in the report of the gunshot. And we can just drag this fantastic sound effect onto our timeline and line it up with the waveforms in the original clip. 1 copy for each of the 2 shots. But if we do that, the sound gets cut off when the clip ends. So, in the context of editing this into a sequence of other clips, that's not the best option. Let's delete them. Instead, we should add the sounds on the editor timeline. Click the Editor tab, and here is where we can combine multiple clips and shots to build our project. In the Media panel, find the pistol firing composite shot. Both the original clip and the composite shot will be here in the Media panel, so make sure you select the comp and right-click and choose Make Proxy. A proxy is a pre-rendered version of the composite shot to improve performance. You can use this slider to zoom in on the timeline, which will make it easier to see what we're doing with this very short composite. Then, drag the proxied comp onto the timeline. Because it's proxied, we can see the waveforms of what is contained inside the comp. Now, to add our sound effect where we see the waveforms of the gun being fired, we need another audio track. Right-click on audio track 1 and select Insert Track. Then, drag the sound effect onto the timeline starting at frame 3 where the waveform is. To add our second sound effect, let's use a different technique. Another way to add a new track is to just drag the sound clip below the master track, and a new track is automatically created to hold it. Make sure it lines up with the second shot on those waveforms, and we are done. Adding the sound effects on the editor means we could add another video clip of the other gunfighter or whatever, and the sounds will still carry through across that cut for a natural, realistic clip. And now you know a few techniques for basic compositing of stock footage when creating visual effects. Check out the Action VFX website for more premium quality stock, and the Triune Film store for more great sound effects. A huge thanks goes out to both of them for giving away the assets included in this tutorial, and thank you very much for watching. Do check out our other Westworld To Yuma tutorials to learn more about using HitFilm Express 2017.